going to do is I'm going to spend an hour laughing at all of you because you're unimportant and you don't matter. That's the plan. My goal with this emergency meeting is to try and get it through your brains because most of you are stupid and stupid people don't listen. I want you to please listen to these words. You are running out of time. Slavery is coming for absolutely everybody, especially unimportant losers like you. You are running out of time. Slavery is coming for absolutely everybody, especially unimportant losers like you. Please understand this. Most of you are only a few years away from being completely replaced by free computer programs like ChatGPT. Most of you are so uninteresting and so unremarkable and lack skills at a level where a free chatbot can replace the majority of you. In fact, I would argue if most of you use ChatGPT to talk to girls, you'd probably do better than if you tried yourself. That's how pathetic most of you are. You're all going to be replaced, which is going to make you a useless eater. Once you're a useless eater, the elites will not need you anymore because if you're a useless eater without a job, what you're going to eventually do is riot and cause problems. They have no interest in trying to police you. They'd rather get rid of you. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to reduce the world's population from 9 billion down to about 2 billion plus machines. And they're going to look at all the people with money and importance and stature and status and who are brown and tall and sexy with big muscles. And they're going to let us live. And the people like you are going to be exterminated one way or another. You're going to be starved to death or given some vaccine and you're going to be permanently eradicated from the genome. That's what's going to happen to you. They intend on wiping out your entire bloodline because you're an unremarkable loser. Now, when I say this, people say, oh, well, Andrew's crazy. He says, oh, they're going to make sure it all ends up with your extinction. But I know some of you are sitting there thinking, no, I'm fine. I've got a job. I've got a job. I work in Amazon. I'm going to make it. You're not even going to be allowed to do manual labor anymore. Please, Matrix, can I do some manual labor? Please, I promise I'll sit and do the worst job for the lowest pay. Will you let me? No, we will not. Workbot 10,000 has replaced you, useless eater Nev 501. Take yourself back to your unimportant family and prepare for extermination. Your little pee-pee won't work, because your useless eater can only create useless eaters with a little useless pee-pee. No one's going to want it. So to eat your bug rations is going to be infused with PP Decimator. PP Decimator 3000. You know, and you're going to sit there with your useless family consuming your PP Decimator because your little belly rumbles. I hope my belly hurts. I hope they're going to stop the unimportant people from reproducing. They're going to sterilize all of you. I'm not even joking. Why do they want useless losers to reproduce? So they can riot and complain. Think about it. Most of you people at home think you care and a pension and like fair working conditions when you're an unimportant, unoriginal loser who can be replaced by a Workbot 3000. I just proved it. Yeah. The elites don't want to talk to you. What did you say? Pension. My Workbot 3000 does not need a pension. When it's done, we just shoot him in the head. Yeah, we can melt him. They are coming to destroy you. Please take this seriously. If you don't become rich and important quickly, they're coming to destroy you. And I'll also tell you why. I'm so mad when people tell you they don't want you to do anything about it. That's why they attack anyone who tells the truth. That's why the Matrix attacks us all. I mean, maybe it's a wild conspiracy theory that when you start telling people the truth about what's going to happen, they hit you with a rape charge. In fact, anyone who's on the internet who's not been hit by a rape charge, you can't even trust. All these other dorks, there's a bunch of dorks who's like, I'm telling the truth about the world. Bro, you're literally on YouTube. Yeah. You're literally the Matrix. Yeah. You're on YouTube, which is the Matrix. Your account isn't even deleted. And you're going to sit there and pretend you're exposing things. You're not exposing anything. You're a fucking nerd. You're tiny pee-pee. Tiny pee-pee. So now, unless you've been hit with a rape charge from the Matrix, you're basically part of the Matrix. Because as soon as you tell the truth, they attack you. And they've just attacked us and threw us in jail. And you end up dying. You were warned. You deserve it. If I tell you, hey bro, don't put your finger in that electricity socket, and you still do it, it's going to be kind of like, well, I told him. They're coming to destroy you. And your bloodline. And your bloodline. And your family. And your family. They're going to control all the money first. They're going to do it with CBDCs. CBDCs is what they're going to do. They're going to introduce CBDCs. Central bank digital currencies, for those who don't know what that means. And then they can control all the money, so they can stop you being able to spend money in certain areas, which restrict you geographically, or spend money on certain things. Now, for you at home who doesn't know what CBDC is, it's very simple. It's a centralized digital banking currency. And centralized bank digital currency. And what it's going to do is going to allow them to have absolute control of the money, so they can control it with a time limit. 1, forcing you to spend it or not allowing you to spend it. 2, they can control it geographically. And 3, they can control what you can and can't buy. No meat, no gas. Yep, you can't buy meat, you can't buy gas. Or you can't travel to this area. Well, you can't buy a train ticket to this area because there's a protest over there. We don't want you to protest. And they're also going to make sure that you don't ever own any assets. You're not going to be able to own anything cool. Like, you're not going to be able to ever afford a house ever. Unless, of course, you want to be a nerd and restrict yourself geographically to one place for the next 20 years while paying 2,000% extra to a bank while they print money from the sky and you work your ass off to be decimated in real time. Yeah, because destroying your geographical freedom so you can stand no chance of ever being flexible enough to avoid, I don't know, bloodline extermination. You're not listening. You're a fucking bug. You're a cockroach. You're uninteresting to them. You've been replaced by work box.
If
they don't want you to have a fucking house. It's just money. Money's not real. I've said this a long time. It's just numbers on a screen. Even at our level T, we're not that rich. I mean, it's just numbers on a screen. Yeah. People say to me, Andrew, why do you buy new cars every week? Do you think $300,000 is money to me? I can't even tell. You could take $300,000 out of my bank account. You could steal it from me and I wouldn't even notice.
I did that yesterday.
Probably. I wouldn't even notice. So why not get the Ferrari? At least that's a real thing. Numbers on a screen aren't even real. And they're printing money. They're inflating the currency because they own all of the assets. They own all of the important things. And inflating the currency increases the value of the assets. But you don't own anything because you're not allowed to own a house because you're a brokey. And if you do own one house, it's not enough. You should own at least 20. And then what happens is the currency inflates. Your wage stays the same. You still make the same $5,000 a month you've always made. You feel like you're not going down, but truthfully, inflation's at least 10% a year, arguably 20%. So you're losing 10% a year. You should be earning an extra 500 pounds a year to even be in the same place, and you're not. And they're destroying your currency in real time, printing it for all these fantastic reasons, like, I don't know, other countries.
The climate, the sun.
The climate. The sun's too hot. Quickly, print $1 billion. The sun's too hot. And then you all have to pay it back to us in taxes. And they absolutely destroy the currency. And you're stuck with the bill. And what are you doing about it? You know they're doing this because their intention is bankrupting you and starving you. That is their intention. So that once all the money's messed up, they can come along with this new money which they completely control, and they can confine you in an area because of the sun being too hot, so that you're easy to exterminate and kill. People often talk about Satanists ruling the world. Satanism.
Alex Jones started this. Shout out to Alex Jones.
Big G. Satanism relies on the fact that they have to tell you what they're going to do.
They can't deceive you.
They can't deceive you because then there's karmic retribution. The only thing Satanists believe in is if they deceive you and trick you, they will be punished for it. So what they have to do is tell you exactly what they're going to do. Give me an example. If I give you an apple that's poisoned and I say, do you want an apple? And you eat it, I've poisoned you. If I say, do you want a poisoned apple? And then you eat it, it's suicide. Therefore, I am not responsible for your death if I told you it was a poisoned apple. Therefore, I am not responsible for the decimation and extermination of your entire fucking bloodline if I told you what I was gonna do and you didn't do anything about it. All the people will be sitting there in their 15-minute city. For the environment, you know what? They told me that the environment will get better next year. If I just stay in my house all year, it'll be fine next year. Just like matters to me, because I'm rich. Doesn't matter how much a carbon credit costs, I can buy it. You can't. You can barely afford to rent. You can't even afford to live. And they're going to hit you with a carbon credit bill that you cannot afford. And then you're going to sit there eating your cockroaches with your wee-wee decimator.
Trust the science.
And you're going to sit there and your little wee-wee's not going to work. And you'll be flicking it like, please, wee-wee. But you can't get boner anymore. Why does my wee-wee not work? Because they don't want you to reproduce. You've been sterilized. Floppy and stationary. Whereas I will be gargantuan and mobile. And it's your fault.